Hi team, good evening. Hi, team. Good evening. Okay, I have started the recording. Very good evening, team, both Zoom and YouTube team. Thank you for joining today's session. Is my voice is audible? Could you please confirm me in the text? And also from YouTube, someone please put a message. Is it clear? Okay, fine. Okay, so in the previous class, we learned about types of functional testing. So especially we learned about what is unit testing. So just short recap. Unit testing. So we done with unit testing and the SIT. So these two completed. So what is that? First unit testing is called as white box testing, where we focus on internal structure, logic of the application coding part, all the things will be tested. It will be done by the development team and it has many names and like unit by unit, which will be developed, that will be tested first, module by module. And then comes after this, all the types of testing from here, it will be done by the QA team. When we talk about QA team, this is considered or classified under the black box testing, where QA team focus on if you give an input, what will be the expected output. Expected output is we already know what will be the we will be already knowing what is the expected output. If you give this, then what is the expected output? So that is what we will be testing, and we will not worried about the internal code part. So this we call it as black box testing. Once every modules are tested, it will be integrated. See when they test it, they know they will test it, there will not be any defect. And then when they integrate and give it to us, that is to the QA team, we will have a very big list of test scenarios. We will be testing that, and then integration testing will be fine to whether we have to check whether it is working according to the expected conditions. And now it has two approach, big bang approach, incremental approach. Mostly big bang approaches are done. In the incremental, we have bottom up, top down, sandwich and all. So now we will be moving on to the next level of testing. See here, usually this all in this diagram is not 100%. It is giving the full information. In general, when you talk about the types of testing means unit testing, integration testing, system testing. Fourth one is user acceptance testing. See, unit testing will be done by the development team. Integration testing, we have seen system integration testing means we will see that mostly in big companies, they call this as an SIT, system and integration testing. This is how they will do it. Once they tested, there is something called UAT, user acceptance testing. What this means is before the production means this is the live final, before we test it in the live environment. What we are doing, we are creating an environment somewhat similar to production. That's why this another name is pre-prod, they used to say pre-production. And in that, the data are almost the same like a production. In that, they will test it. After testing it here, they will do it in the production. Then it will be live. Live means every person can able to see that application. This is how the things will happen. And what about this regression testing, smoke testing? And there is one more level called sanity. So these three types of testing, see, smoke, sanity, regression. These three testing will be done in all these levels. All these levels. Okay. So try to visualize. I'm going to today teach you some real-time project and make you to feel like how it will be in the QA team. So first dev team, this will be done by the dev team, unit testing, and then it will come for SIT, system testing, integration testing, then it will go for UAT and then production, then live. This is a process. Always keep this point in mind. In all these level, we will do three types of testing. One is smoke, sanity, regression. And very important, what I'm going to tell today, everything is applicable for automation also. So while teaching automation, I will not discuss about this directly. I used to say we are going to do smoke testing, sanity testing, regression testing. So you should able to understand the meaning of it. Okay, rather than going to slides today, I will give you some real project, how it will be in big companies based on my past experience. And this story is applicable to, there is something called eighth model, like DevOps, CI/CD. So at that time also, same document I will be referring. So this story you can tell in any interview. If they ask, could you please explain about your project? Exactly by heart it, just feel it and then explain it. So we'll see how it is going to be. Very easy only. We are going to see from the scratch. From the scratch means how a project will start, how literally what is happening in a project, like that. Okay, try to listen. Very, very important topic this. Mostly this topic will not be in the internet. First, when a project is going to start, we will have the requirements. So analysis and requirement will be there. Requirement means what? They will say like, okay, for example, let's consider any application. Okay, let's consider movie booking website. It's a small scale only, not a very big. So when you tell movie booking website means, I hope you've done it, right? So you have to register it. So for example, this will have a registration page, then seat booking, after that payment, after that tickets and profile. Let's make it as an easier one. So some 5 requirement. Like this, we may have multiple requirements. What we will do is we will consider like what is the thing is, okay, 10 web pages. Web pages means one by pages we need to create it. So 10 web pages. This particular application will have 10 web pages. And again, seat booking, after that movie list. Then you can see individual movie details, how many hours. So these things will be in the particular, you can go and check it. So many websites are there. So 10 web pages. So create based on the what model, waterfall model means we will not involve. V model, agile, and means both testing team, development team, we will be involving in this meeting. Customers, stakeholders, client, you can say in either way. They explain everything. Okay, perfect. Now what happened? This is the first requirement. So based on, let's talk about if we are in QA team, what we will do. I'm going to tell QA team means we try to understand, okay, this is a website. No, let me write the test scenarios and then test cases and then test data, data based on environment. Environment. What is this? I'll tell you now. Environment. Okay. Spelling correct only, right? Whatever. We'll see later. See here, test scenarios means, okay, in which, okay, one flow, you open it, you go to the movie list, you book it, payment ticket. Then you log in, you update your profile. Then you log in, you cancel the ticket. Like this, different scenarios we can create it. So we will have all these things that is called scenarios. How you're going to do that in depth. Okay, first step, second step, third step, fourth step, we say test cases. And you want to log in and do it, right? So test data need to be there. Test data means in the website you see guest user, already registered user, there will be an admin user. According to that, we will have such data. That data, this environment means we will be testing. See, one data means it will be tested in the SIT, UAT, production. For everything, the data will be different. It will not be the same. So we have to prepare the data. There will be a team, TDM team. They will give this data. Any of this we are going to discuss in depth just today. Now you all have better clarity on manual testing. So it will be easy for you to visualize. That's why I'm putting it now, this particular topic inserting. Now, okay, this based on the requirement, we are ready. Now, when you take development team, what they do it first, they will go for architecture. Okay, how the diagram should be there, the entire how many I have already shown, right? Ola, Uber, those things, how many interfaces and all that, they will have an architecture diagram. And based on that, they will design, they will come up with something called components or screens. They will try to get the details. Now, if you have a development team, for example, we have 5 developers, means 5 developers. In that, 4 of them will be doing the coding, and one person will do the unit testing. And when it's a unit testing, that's an automation process. It is using the code only, not manually. So it means 4 person, 1 person will do this one, another person will do this one, another person will do this one, means develop the web pages. Another person may be doing this one. Like that. 1 minute. Just a second. Please give me a second. Okay. So I'll also show some sample website. Okay. So some website, they are what it will be there. No, when they develop it, okay, let's consider this is the final live application. This is the final live. So before that, let's go. So what they do is when they used to test that in their local system, no, how the URL will be. See, environment means URL only I'm mentioning. In a layman terminology, like that you have to understand. Now they will have something called HTTP / local host, like 8080, some numbers. Like this, they will have for every user, every developer will have one particular number. They will do the coding in that, and that will be given to the unit tester. Unit tester will test in that environment. Once, like, okay, every thing is done, then they will what do it in this is a little bit technical only, and that too including now is quite complicated only, but okay, you can give a try. There is something called artifact. So all this they have written using any programming language, that they will create this word is very important. They will build the project. Note it down somewhere. Build the project means what? They will run something. After that, run the entire project. We are going to do this in automation. That will be converted into jar files. Jar file means a simple jar file. What's a jar file? 1 minute. I'll show you some example. So that we get an clarity on that. 1 minute. So, okay. So I'll try to open some project, Java project. You'll get better clarity. So a jar file will be created. This jar file, what they do know, they will go and they will first build the format. Then there is note down this word also, deployment. Deployment will happen. So it means what? See, this is for example, just imagine they have developed entire web page here. After this, what will happen is they will try to create a jar file. That jar file somewhere here it will be there. A jar file means something like this. See, this is all jar file. Like this, your entire project will be converted into a one single jar file. We call this as an artifacts. Artifact. This is the word we need to use it. See, again, this is like a DevOps function. Anyhow, I will be teaching this for the automation guys, but still. Now deployment will happen. Deployment means maybe they will come up with something called like this. The dev people will have an URL like this, like dev1.com, like this. In this, whatever they did coding, no, they will integrate and keep it here. And after this, what they will do in this, the person will test it. This unit tester will do the testing in this URL. Any defect is there, they will close it. Now, finally, the finalized code will be there. No, that is after fixing the defect. That once again they try to build the project. Build the project means what? Creating a jar file. That jar file they will go and deploy it into the server. Server means environment. So that is why nowadays DevOps engineers and all, what they do is they will go and deploy this particular jar file in that server, means then you can see that in the URL. Then QA team will get this. QA team. This they call it as staging environment. So this is how they call. And what means, for example, they are going to tell, okay, testing team, we done the build. Build is successful. You can start the testing. I am going to give the URL. For example, if it is going to be SIT, means they will give like something like this. Okay, SIT. Just or in simple example, it will not be the same way. It will be some names they will have it, but not exact website name, because exact website name is the live. That's a production. So like this SIT, they will give it. So now what we need to do? We need to do testing of, okay, we have already have all the test cases. What are the scenarios to test it? We will have the test data. So this screen navigation, okay, what you will do? You have to test it in this environment. This is what our duty. When you do it manually, it is called manual testing. Or when functional testing, or when you're going to use automation code, means it's an automation testing. That's the minute difference. So testing remains the same only. How you're going to perform, only the things going to be different. Okay. Now we are going to test the UAT. Now this is what I'm today's topic we are going to enter. Before that, just put a message. Zoom team, everyone till now able to visualize. Just imagine like you're sitting with the QA team, dev team, able to get it. And also please someone from YouTube able to get it, what we are discussing. Oh, please put a text message. It's very important. Okay, fine. Good. Now what we will do, 3 levels of testing. In this SIT, we are going to do 3 levels of testing. What is the 3 levels? One is called smoke testing, another thing sanity testing, and then called regression testing. Okay, 3 levels of testing. So what this mean? For example, this 1 minute, I'm putting all in mute for better recording experience. Okay, here, see here, we have a requirement. In this requirement, 10 web pages are there. From those 10 web pages, how many test cases you have created? Mean the scenarios you're going to do is maybe 50 test cases or 50 scenarios you have created. It is 50. So what you will be doing now, this 50 scenarios, see here, 50 test cases are there. Now, in this 50 test case, let's put here, if you're going to test the entire application, all the pages means testing. See, entire application, all the test case falls under the regression. Okay. Then what is the meaning of smoke testing? What is the meaning of sanity testing? So this is where the confusion comes. See here, again, interview question. These are all interview areas. For example, I have taken a wrong example. That's fine. Let's make it. If you consider this particular application, we have to take one or two flow, just one or two test case. If that test case is passed, means you're saying this build is perfectly working. So in this case, booking one ticket. Actually, here we can have n number of scenarios. I think I wrongly taken a web page. Okay, for example, just imagine you have Amazon. Okay, that's the e-commerce website. Same thing. In that e-commerce website, you have like, let's increase the size of it. Let's put you have like 200 test cases. Really, in real time and all, 250, 300 test cases, we will have it. 200 test cases, you have it. 200 test cases, which from 50 web pages. Like this, let's consider any e-commerce, Amazon, Flipkart, you can take any website. Just imagine this is the case. You want to test the entire application, means we call it as regression testing. Anyhow, the definition I'm not going to arrive. Regression testing means you test all the test cases. Now, what does the smoke and sanity means? Out of this 200 test case, there will be some most critical flow. See, critical flow, end-to-end test case. Example, if you want to make sure if any e-commerce means, what is most important is the flow of first of all, it should able to log in successfully and order the product. So this one flow, if it works, then I can say like, yes, this build is successful. It is checking whether the build is working fine or not. See, login itself not working. You are unable to develop unable to order a product. For example, phone is there, electric phone, fridge, washing machine, groceries, kids items, so many items there, right? You will just take, okay, what is highly used by the customer? So order the phone, just one phone. And if that works, means yes, build means whatever the development team deployed the code, it is okay, working fine, stable. We have to use the word stable. Smoke testing again means there are some words checking the build is stable or not. Yes, stable. I'm able to book a phone. Then what will you do? You have to do the sanity. Okay, I'm coming to that. Okay, if you're unable to order a phone itself, then what we will say, build is not stable. We will tell to the development team. Then development team, how is it so? They will go and check their code and do in between so many testings and configuration stuff. Again, they will build a project, deploy it, and they say, okay, testing team, start doing the testing. So you will be hearing this word. If you're in testing team, they will say, build is successful, start the testing, build is ready, build is ready. This word they used to say. Actually, build is nothing but the jar file that dev team is going to deploy, and it will be available for us to test it. So keep this point in mind. Okay, this we have done. Now, okay, smoke testing, you tested out of 200 test case, let's imagine, okay, we are going to see 4 test cases. Maybe one test case is for booking, one test case is for cancellation, like that. Out of the big application, just 4 test case you are going to test. If all 4 test case passes, then only you can proceed further for the next level of testing. So that's called sanity testing. So now what does so smoke, anyone in interview talks about smoke mean, remember, it is checking whether the build is stable or not, checking the build is stable or not, it is successful or not, the main critical functionality is working or not. This is what our idea. If that is working fine, for example, you consider this Zoom meeting. What is the build? First of all, everyone able to join the meeting or not? That's a perfect example. Yes, everyone able to join the meeting. Now you can able to test it means we have participation, we have, you can check security options is there, chat, polls, pass, annotate, remote control, apps. Every module is there, right? You want to test all the modules. Then it is called regression testing. Okay, why you want to test such things? I'll come to that. Now, testing means management need, it is involves a lot of money, right? Budget. So if it's okay, we can, if for example they have put build, you test this 200 test cases means it takes at least, if as per my idea, at least it will take 1 week of time, 1 week or 2 weeks of time. It depends on the team. Daily 10 to 12 test cases, that's how we will do it. If that's the case, then 10 days and an average. So let's put 1 week. 1 week it will take every time. So when they put one build, you can't go and do this every time, right? Even they make a small change, you can't go and test this. So this involves a big budget problem. So what they are doing, they are bringing another guy in between that. That is called sanity testing. So what in sanity they will be doing is very simple. From every module, I have taken a wrong example, sorry for it. From every module, okay, from every module means what, let's consider Amazon mobile booking, and then gift cards, then electricals or electronics. Okay, I'll take an application itself, right? Okay, we have 1 minute. So Amazon.in. See ya. What I'm so entire, if you want, if I want to test this entire Amazon.in or .com, whatever it is, it takes like 200 to 300 test case means it's not possible for every code change I have to test. What I will do, from every module, from mini TV, bestsellers, today deals, mobiles, and you see the product, you go and see the product. So I can't able to test all the stuffs. Maybe one file, one echo, one Kindle. From every module, I will take 1 or 2 test case. Actually, for this application, if we are going to write a regression suite means, I'm damn sure this test case will be 1,000 also, no doubt on it. Such a big application, but we make it an easy understanding. Let's put like 200 plus. So this 200 plus test case from every module. So this is how we will choose it. From every modules, we will choose few end to end test cases. Few end-to-end test cases. Another example. Okay, you have an insurance company, car insurance, 2 test case. Insurance itself, we have a different state, different city, rules varies, tax varies. That's a very in-depth testing, regression testing. In that, I can't, okay, 2 car insurance, 2 bike insurance, home insurance. So from every module, I will choose few critical, important. So critical, we'll choose few critical, or so critical is the best word, critical end-to-end test cases. So for example, it will cover like 30 test cases. So tomorrow you have this. Now okay, already they have 3 web pages. Now they added something here and they added something here. So for small thing, I can't go and test 200 test case. It's going to take me 2 weeks of time. Rather than I will be doing sanity test case, this can be completed in just one day is enough. So if you consider as a Venn diagram, I hope you all know what's a Venn diagram. Then wait. Oh, it's a drawing. Okay, let's put like this. You have like this. This is means this one regression and not a good one. Then you have in the regression, you are having this is the regression, all the test case. From that, you're taking some important test case that we called sanity. In that, some important test case we called smoke testing. So outside, it's a regression. This one, it's a regression. This one, it's a sanity. This one is a smoke. So this one, okay. This one, what we will do, we will check the build, smoke. And this one, sanity, because we both are yes, no, people get confused. Smoke testing will start. Some of them, they call it as dry run testing. Dry run. Have you did a dry run means have you checked the critical functionality is working or not? Then comes the sanity testing. Then testing the entire application is called regression. So this is how they do it. Now, let's talk a little bit technically. This talks about build is stable or not, smoke testing. Yes, build is stable, all 4 test case pass. Then what they do, okay, start with the sanity means we will go and check the functionality every critical test case from different module. Okay, for example, you have like 5 modules. Out of 5 modules, maybe adding of gift voucher is not working means what you will do it. That's it. That particular test case we will raise a defect. Now dev team will work on gift voucher, and once this is done, depends on the process. If it is a manual testing, trust me, regression testing cannot be done on daily basis or weekly basis. They will do it only on monthly basis. 3 months, after 3 months, all these code I'm going to deploy it into the production means maybe before production, 1 or 2 weeks before, they do a regression testing. That is why automation came into the picture. See, you cannot do a regression testing just like that. But if you have an automation script, everything is developed means daily I can run the regression testing in different machine. Now you understood where automation plays the important role. So you have an application, smoke testing, sanity, and if a particular module fails, they will fix it and make it live. Then it will be ready. Okay, what we did a regression testing. Now there will be a defect. We will say they will work on the defect, and finally they will deploy it. At one point of time, what will happen? This will be 0 defect or all the defects are closed. Now you have the code, right? The code means after fixing all the failures, some updated code. That code, they will again deploy it into the another environment that is called UAT. Before going to the production, I want to test it once in the pre-production, somewhat similar setup, similar data. This is similar to production environment. So here almost the test data, everything, they will test it. So I'll put a URL or environment like, see, it's SID simply for understanding. They have a different word, different name. Maybe I'll put like UAT. So here they will test it. Is there any defect? They do, yes, there is a defect. Again, they will go here, they will test it and come back here. Or everything is happened. After that, we have Production. Many, if you have an IT friends, they say, hey man, I'm in the production support, I'm in production, Saturday's production, it didn't plan well, it's very hectic. Because production, you're going to test in the live environment. It's very difficult actually. So here also in UAT also you're going to do this. In in SIT also you will do the same thing. In UAT also you will do the same thing. In production you will not do the regression mostly. Mostly the important test cases we will do it. Depends upon the companies. Some companies will do the smoke and the sanity. They will not go for the because it involves a lot of money. You can't go and play with customers' data. So mostly these two only will do it. To my knowledge, regression will not be done in the production. They will check these two, but big companies maybe they also go for the regression because all automated process. Once yes, successful, all good, then in the live we can see the code. This is how it will work in all the IT project. Maybe the duration will be different. And the same thing, again, it will come in the agile also. Agile, as of now, you don't know that. Later, I will teach you. So whatever the software development life cycle, product life cycle, they follow it. This is what happens. So as an interview, what are all the questions you can expect from here is either an automation or a manual testing. You must know how many test case count, whichever you're going to mention it in your resume. In your resume, you say like, I did regression, I did smoke testing, sanity testing. The copy pasted means the issue. You have to be ready with what is the application, what is the regression suite, how many test cases, because we can't lie the count just like that. It won't come. If someone says, hey, how many regression should you have? It means you say something, okay, 200 plus. Oh, is it so? How many modules in that? If they ask means lies will never come. So you have to properly prepare that in before you already worked means that's a different story, but you didn't work means you will get caught in this area. So you have to properly plan exactly how many test cases, sanity. Okay, if they say, oh, sanity test case 30, can you please tell me what are all the sanity test cases you have tested it? Or what is exactly the smoke testing flow? Could you please explain that? Means that's it. You will get caught. So very simple area it looks like, but a lot of questions we can shoot it from here. And you're going to do it manually, manual testing. If you're going to do with the Selenium, it's an automation testing. Definitely regression, all these three, we can able to do it using the automation and also manual process. Now, I'm sure, put it in text, especially Zoom team. Is everyone understood? Please put yes. I want to see you're all active. And what about Zoom, YouTube? You guys are shy to put it in publicly, your name, comments. Are you getting the concept of what I taught now? Okay. So now let's go to, so this is what happens, guys. Some word build, and because now I'm going to show some slides. You say, why this guy is reading slides? Means this words will be used. That's why I made you to visualize the project. Every company follows some strategy. This is one of the evergreen process. Sometimes they will have SIT multiple environment in two environment. In one project which I worked, we have 4 SIT environment, one or two pre-production, one product pre-production. Live will be, of course, only one. Thank you, Ganga, for replying. Okay. Now, let's go back. Now, okay. Actually, literally, I'm done with all the upcoming topic. Let's try to understand all these concepts again. So all the remember, sanity, smoke, regression will be done in every level of testing. Yeah, thank you, Ganga, Satyadeep, everyone. Good evening. Okay, let's go and now you have understood it, right? Now we'll see technically. So first, what is smoke testing? See, smoke testing, again, it's a software testing that it's a browser determines whether deployed software build is stable or not. If I read this before, you'd have assumed something. What this mean? Deployed software build. They have some jar file, they deployed it and they gave it to you. That is stable. Yes, the application is working fine or not. You open the search page, you search user, it needs to be displayed in few seconds. If it is taking more than a minute, performance issues. Like that, you're going to check whether that deployed build is stable or not. If you say this one word, you understood smoke testing. Other than this word, you explain whatever, people will understand that you didn't learn it correctly or you didn't work. So build is stable or not. So smoke testing confirms, it confirms for the QA team to proceed further with the software testing. See, before starting the testing itself, we are doing a small testing that is called smoke testing. Why you want to do? Just imagine you ran 100 test case. After that, you're saying build is not stable, application is not working. Means how many hours we wasted it? Entire day, no. Rather than you are going to spend like 30 minutes of time, and whether you can start testing or not, because the build per day, many builds will be done. If it is some banking process and all, night at night 12 o'clock, they will run a lot of batch process, patch process. So they will update something in the server. So server may not be stable. Many things are there. So daily, before we start the testing, smoke testing will be done. And again, this has consists of minimal set of test cases on each build to test the software functionality, major functionalities. We are going to check it here. And this is also called as build verification testing, confident, because it gives you a confident to start the testing. So confident testing. And it we are checking the build now. So build verification testing. So I hope you all somewhat better. And why you need to do that? Smoke testing is done whether a new functionality of the software developed integrated with the existing build in the staging environment. So it means what? You already have SIT environment. In that, one requirement is added. After adding this, is this stable or not? That's what in simple words they are saying. In this testing, the development team deploy. I said no, deploy the build, the jar file, those stuff in that in QA environment. It is the subset of the test case taken, and that then the testers runs that particular test case, that specific build test case, they do it. That's what they mean it. And against critical functionality. So all important. This is what the next keywords here, where stable or not. Again, critical here, two critical flows. They will check it. Once this is done, this series of test cases design expounds errors are in the build, everything related to build. If test cases are passed, then test case continues the functional testing. Rather than saying that continues, they can start the functional testing. That's also right. Now comes a very tricky question. Who will do the smoke testing? After releasing the build to QA environment, smoke testing performed by whom? It is done by the QA team. So this is what the rule says. But in some project, this smoke testing will be done by the dev team. Why suddenly? Why you want to confuse us? See, theory is different, practical is different. You have three roles. One is development team, another one QA team, another one there is something called in IT we have support team, always night shift. Actually, they are developers only. Development team, these work on general shift or second shift. These guys, what they do know, they used to put that batch and all other stuff. They will be completing like 3 a.m. Just it seem like IST. When QA team will come, QA team will come at 9 a.m. IST. Let's assume. So till that 6 hours is there, no? Actually, I can't tell a QA team to come and test it on 3 a.m. Impossible. So this lag time will be there. So what they do is companies, this is again a company process. We are not talking about theory bugs. We are talking about practical things. So now the support team itself, nothing but the dev team itself in real, most of the projects, they do the smoke testing and they check like, yes, build a stable, and they send a mail to the QA team. When you come morning 9 a.m., you will first go and check, yes, shall we start working? Means in that clearly they mention build is successful, you can smoke. It means what? They have completed the smoke testing, start with the sanity or start with your work, something like that. This is the reality things. This is how it will work. But in interviews, you have to be very careful. Most of the time, if you're from you, if you're going for an automation interview, say that this will be done by the dev team, because automating a smoke testing test cases is very, very critical. I'll tell in the training, I'll tell you how to achieve that. So very safer side, put this into the dev team. If you're a manual testing team, you can say it's purely your wish. If you're going to say you worked under an on-site project, means mostly on-site guys will do the on-site QA team is there. They will be doing the smoke testing. See, whatever the stories I'm saying, why I'm saying these many stories apart from this stories you have to go and tell. If someone says, okay, this is what my on-site team, exactly, just note down these stories. That's it. Whenever there is a new build, QA team determines a major functionality in the application to perform the smoke testing. This is all about the build and the major functionality. Is there any showstoppers in the application? Means anything it is going to stop today my testing process. So that's called smoke testing. Who will do it? QA team or QA engineer. Why do we need to do the smoke testing? These are all important questions. See, it plays an important role in software development initial stage. So you can save test effort. After testing 40 test case, you find something. After testing 3 test case, you find something, means which is profit. By seeing 3 test case itself, you can say like, yeah, we can't start it. No, that is what. Smoke test brings the system a good state. Once we complete the smoke testing, then only we can start functional testing. You must know in depth about understanding about smoke testing. This is the place people get caught if they really not worked in the companies. Understand? Build critical functionality. Why do we need showstopper? Means one main functionality, if it is not working, that's it. We can't proceed. Login itself not working means how will you test the application? Such user is not working, how will you test the process? Such user not working means what is the literal meaning in the backend? It is not communicating with the database. You're trying to search a user. It should go and hit the database and give us the answer. No, that is not happening means it's a showstopper. That's what why we have to check that. And smoke testing is done, build is released to with the help of smoke testing. Most of the defects are identified at initial stage. How early you identify a defect, we can save the money, no? And correction, it is also helpful to simply detect correction of major defects. Using this, QA team can find defects on application functionality that may have surfaced by the new code. Yesterday it was working fine, you have added something, now because of adding the new code, this problem came. Such things we can able to identify smoke testing. And smoke testing finds the major severity defects, because it's a very important end-to-end flow, no? That's what. So any project you're going to mention, any application you're going to mention in your resumes, please choose some scenario, what is smoke testing, what is sanity and regression, count, how you're going to explain on that. Even for automation team. And first they will discuss about tech stuff, then they go into the application little bit. Advantage, we can perform easy to perform the next level of testing. We can identify defects early stage. It improves the quality, reduces the risk. Of course, everything we are doing early, no? Very easy progress. Progress is easier to access. And then It saves the time, effort, and we can able to find the critical defect, very quick process, minimize integration issues. So these are all the advantages of smoke testing. But what is major thing in this is saves test effort and time, and then critical defect. These two are the main reason. Other things and all just for the because early stage mean obviously time saving, cost saving. These two you should tell. Now, what happens if we don't do the smoke testing? You're going to get a lot of defects in the later stage. If you don't perform, defects may encounter in the later stage. You have to fix it. You have to give a more cost for fixing the defect found in the later stage. Showstopper where it may affect the release of the deliverables. So why to take risk? Do with the smoke testing. So smoke testing is done. Now comes the sanity. So put a text message. Zoom team. All good. I want you guys to interact. That's my expectation. You can't be idle. Since it's a live class, I'm not picking. Later, I will give you some quizzes in the live class, make you to tick the answers. I want to access every person's. Some of them are personally, I know you guys. So never focus. Okay. What is sanity? First, we are done. What is sanity? Sanity testing is done during the release phase to check the main functionality of the application without going deeper. By-hearted. It is also the subset of regression. It means what I said, no? If this is going to be regression, maybe like 200 test case, in that important test case you're choosing, that is called sanity, maybe 30 plus. Here you have, this is called smoke testing, maybe 4 to 5 test case. So that is what they say, subset. Subset means you have a circle, out of that you're checking the subset. If you know Maxwell, this word they will use, subset. So it is also called subset of regression. Those test cases, it's also done, it is done at the release level. So main functionality from every modules, they choose some test case, so they just check the main functionality. At times, due to the release time constraint, rigorous regression testing cannot be done to the build. Sanity testings are done by the part by checking the main functionality. See, every time you're making some change, code change means daily I can't go and test it. Very, very high cost it will happen. So what I'm doing the sanity. So words are very important. Build verification, very major critical flow, smoke testing. This is, it's not major, it is a main, all main functionalities of application without going deeper. That's very important. And then this is also called surface level testing. And how to conduct a sanity testing, subset of regression testing. When it comes for sanity, the main focus to make sure whether main functionality is working according to the expected conditions or not. So main functionality, see, main functionality from each module of the application is tested. So this is what I said here. See, we used to, every module, we will choose few critical end-to-end test cases. For example, for example, a banking application. Let's take banking domain. Banking domain means first login is working or not. Payment, I able to check my balance or not. I'm able to online transfer or not. These three flow, I can say smoke testing. Then what is sanity? Again, or when login those stuff, then when we come for a sanity, in online transfer, within account, outside account, other bank. That is within account means, you know, you can send your own saving and current account, and within bank. like HDFC, then HDFC or other thing. Mostly in India, we will use it. Very rarely we will send a money outside India. So that test case is not important for me. So mostly here, if you're going to test for from HDFC to SBI, one flow is enough. It is not like you have to test HDFC to SBI and ICICI, all other banks. You no need to do it. That you will do it in the regression testing. So like this, the main functionality is everywhere. You will check it. What does regression testing means? The entire application, but there is a difference in the definition. So what's that is the main functionality from each, and the difference between Sanity and the smoke testing, very famous interview questions. So for example, build means now you know what is build, deploying the code. First build, second build, we will have so many builds. You're doing smoke testing means initial phase. Few verify the critical functionality that application state starts successfully, stable or not. Once the application is stable, you're verifying new functionalities are working. So they added some code, no? Codes are bug fix. Yeah, checking it. So this will come initial build, checking stable or not. Here we are going to check all the functionalities working or not. Once these are done, then we will go for the regression testing, entire application. We will test it again. So that's what the next level. So we are done 2 levels. Now the third one, regression testing. So if you ask this definition, most of them will say wrongly. Please by heart it. Due to the recent program or code changes has not adversely affected the existing feature. Okay, what that means? So maybe banking application we were discussing, right? You can able to send the money, check your balance, all the stuff. Now there is a functionality they are introducing. Maybe, for example, online chatbot. If you open it in the corner, you will get some chatbot. Here we are there to help. It's developed AI. So that new feature, because of it is again, the code needs to be added in the main project, right? Because of recent program update, our code is newly added, that should not affect the rest of the functionality which is already working correctly, which is already working fine. That is called regression testing. So if we go to the diagram, it means what? Already some out of this 200 test cases, some modules are like your profile update. So many things are there, right? If you take the application, you know it. Some code changes we are adding it. Because of adding that code change, the rest of the thing which is already working, that should not be affected. So but still I need to go and check it, no? So what I do, I'll do the regression testing. I'll test the entire application. So regression testing nothing but full or partial selection of already executed test case which are re-executed, ensure that existing functionality is working fine. Already, which is working fine, I need to test it because a new code is added. So if I need to test it, I'm going to test the full application or I'm going to choose some test case. So that's where this, how you're going to do a regression testing technique. 3 ways we can do it. I'll come to that. But again, due to adding of new code, change in the code, we have to make sure the existing functionality of the entire application is not affected or it is working fine. See, in interview, don't by hard English, just understand that, say it in simple word, but meaning should convey. They're stable, then important functionalities, main functionalities from every modules here, recent code change not affected the existing functionality and testing the entire application. Remember. So this is done. So testing is done to make sure that new code changes should not have side effect on the existing functionality. It ensures that the old code still works once the same way. They are saying it in different, same meaning only actually, different way. So this is a regression testing. The need of regression testing means, of course, we have to, when you give it to customer, we have to make sure everything is working fine. Oh, that's the main reason. Whenever there is requirement change, that is requirement to change the code, we need to test whether the modified code is not affected the other part of the software. So regression is needed. When a new feature is added to the software application for fixing or defect fixing, sometimes you will fix the defect as well as performance issue fixing. So many fixes are there, but still the existing functionality should work fine. That's why I'm going to test the entire application. Okay, how to do the regression testing? In order to do this, we need to first debug the code to identify. Okay, you have to do many ways. Let's go to that one. Here, we need to first debug the code, identify the bug, identity change. Okay. Okay, this definition, let it be. Let's understand reality. So for example, in my old one of the project I worked, we have 450 regression test case on on-site project. 450 automation test case I need to execute it on every. This needs to be executed in 4 environment, like every week automation. I'm showing in terms of automation. Every week means maybe Tuesday 2 environment, Thursday 3 environment. Like this, I need to execute it. So if it is an automation, no problem. Near automation, it will complete in 6 hours to 8 hours. All 450, it will be completed surely in 8 hours. Manual is not possible. So then comes, if it's a manual, automation, definitely client will say, go and execute everything. That's why we need automation. What if automation is not there? 450 test case, if you want to do it as a team, means it takes months. So what they do a 3-way retest all, regression test selection, prioritize the test case. 3 tricks, 3 technique. You have to use this when you are a lead. They will ask you, okay, go and select a proper regression suite. You should know how to select it. You should apply these 3 techniques only. First technique, retest all. Retest all means simple, all the 450 test case, you need to test it. That is retest all, which all the test in the existing text bucket or so that is that 450 should be re-executed. Everything. This is very expensive. It requires a huge time and resource. I said no. This is a problem with that. Okay. I don't have that much time. I don't have that much budget. Do I need to run all 450 test case? A question will come, no. If you have everything, you will do it. Mostly automation only will do the regression testing, manual and all. 3 months once only they will start regression. Now comes regression test selection. So your second trick, what's that? In this technique, some selected test case from the test suite are executed to test whether the modified affects the software application or not. Okay, you're going to select something. Then how that it is categorized into 2 parts. One is reusable test case, which can be used in further regression cycle, and absolute test case, which cannot be used in succeeding cycle. So what that mean is, it's little bit tricky part. Just try to understand. You have 450 test case. Okay, this 450 test cases, which is having many functionality. How many functionality? Let's put like 50 functionality. Okay, 450 test case uses 50 functionalities. Functionalities means including checking the context, checking the job, then find check the carriers. Like that, so many web pages we will have, right? Any application will have different 50 functionality. But whether if you think logically, Everyone, if you take any website, we are not going to access every web page. We are not going to change it, the code in the background. Some web pages only, we are going to make a lot of changes. If you take healthcare application, okay, rather than healthcare, it's tricky part. Okay, banking application. If you have a banking account, I'm 100% sure you never visited any other page apart from checking balance, sending money to someone, downloading the e-statement. And if you have a DMAT, you will go and check that DMAT stuff, credit card payment. After that, download. You have so many things in the credit card. You just go and check it. So as a customer, I know that the customers, which websites, which page they are using a lot. So I know what's the critical functionality. So I will choose such functionality, maybe 30 functionalities. This will be reused by the customer again and again. So based on this 30 functionality, I will choose the test case. So this 450, this will be converted to, trust me, it will come like 200 plus possibilities. What I was doing, this automation was for this 200 plus test case only. Manual also 200 only. Because we will not test all 450, it's not at all needed. Some cases, it's again, this depends upon the clients, customers. Automation, the way treat is different from the way they treat the manual team. Because automation here, it's going to be done by the machine. If script is ready, they will go and do it. But this is time consuming, money stuff needed, right? So here the 450 will be converted to 200 plus. So that's what says here. Reusable. And absolute test case means that not used or that functionality totally removed. Lot of changes will happen, right? You take any banking application, is it same like how it was 10 years back? Definitely no. Lot of changes happened. Now HDFC homepage itself, they changed 1 month before. Before it was not there. Before 1 month, HDFC will not work outside India. You have to use the VPN, but now it will work. So the market, they are changing everything in their backend. So as a customers, I'm doing it. But this, you have to think it like a tester. Okay, if I'm the end user, what I will be doing it, how I will be testing it, main functionalities. Based on that only, you will write this all 450. In that 450, which is highly used functionality, that is the regression test selection. So requirement will definitely keep changes. We have to, this word, which word? Reusable. This is the common word for both automation and the manual. How will you choose a regression test suite? This is an interview question. I will go and check which test case is widely used. Reusable. Okay, I'm asking you an interview question now itself. You ping me in the chat. You have okay. No needed. That I will ask in automation. That time you also will be there, right? Okay, reusable test cases, which the functionality we are going to use it again and again. That's what we will take it. We will choose that for the regression thing. Prioritizing the test cases. Sometimes I don't see everything we are talking in terms of manual testing. So I don't have enough time. Tomorrow I need to release it. My product needs to be tested. Now what I will do? Prioritizing the test case depends on the business impact, critical and frequently used functionality. So we need to choose a test case which is very highly used. And in that module, we are getting more defect. It is very critical, frequently used. These three words, business impact, critical, frequently used functionalities. Then I will try to choose that one. It greatly reduces the regression test. So it means what? This 200 will be converted to some 80 plus. There's 450 plus. See, understand. So if you're going to test this, now a simple calculation will do it. You learn that also. We have 450 test case. No, we have 5 resource per resource per day, 10 test case. This is what your deliverable. If that's the case, if you're going to do this manually, how long it is going to take? 1 minute. Manually, 5 into 10, so it is 50, right? First, why I know this, but I'm just saying it. So 5 member daily 10 test case, it is equal to 50. Totally, how many test case we have? It 450 divided by 50. 9 working days it will take. 9 working days. Nothing. Okay. If the same thing, I'm going to do it 200 divided by 50. I can complete that in 4 days. It means what? This is 2 weeks, guys. This is less than a week. What about 80? 80 divided by 50. I can complete this in 1.6 days, nothing but approximately equal to 2 days. So, okay, what is a bill saving? For example, 5 resource, 8 hours per resource, $20. $20 is very less. Let's put $25. Per day, company is spending $1,000 into $9,000, right? Here they are almost $9,000. When you do this trick, how many dollars? Now it has become $2,000. So how much money saved? Everyone able to visualize in terms of management. I know some of the module leads are here. That's why I'm putting this now itself. Why you have to be very smart enough to choose a proper regression test suite. All good. Zoom team, put a text message. Till now, I'm trying to add little bit additional thing because it's easy. You all can learn that. Very easy. These are all the things you have to think it like a lead, or when you definitely you're going to become a manager. So every test case matters. How we are doing calculation and all. Already one self-paced video course, it's there in the Canvas portal. You go and check that. I'll show that in next week, how estimations are done. That's not a part of training, but we already have that thing. So this is how we have to choose the test case and selecting test cases. So we, if okay, now you are the module lead. You're going for the meeting. You have to choose the test case. How you have to choose? Where you get the frequent defects. Then functionalities which are more visible to user. Contact page is no one going to see it. But what about home page? What about searching the job page? Like that. And verify the core feature. Core feature means important feature. Money transfer is a core feature for internet banking. That's the core feature. And test case functionality undergone. So which module? So many new code is added. Of course, all SIT test case, all complex test case, boundary value analysis test case. This we will see it later. And in the previous release, whatever the test cases which got failed continuously, everything we have to consider. In simple, whichever the project you're going to work, they will be having the suit. You no need to worry about it. But if you're going to be the person to choose a regression suit, means come and revisit this slide, you will get an idea. So that's about the what's the level we are done. Discard on my team. So we are done with one minute team. Okay. Excuse me. So we are done with unit testing, integration testing, smoke testing, regression testing. All these, yes, sanity is missing. Sanity, smoke, regression. We have to do it then here, here, here. Then what's the minute different? System testing, user acceptance testing. We'll see it. What's the time? It's on 15 only, right? Okay. System testing. System testing, it's a level of a testing that validates the complete and fully integrated software product end to end. Everything it is going to test it. It's not just application. For example, you're going to test Flipkart itself, you say. Flipkart means here many things going to happen. First thing, you're going to place the order. If you're going to place the order in the warehouse, all the product they needs to update it, right? Then only you can see only 6 product is left, or else so there one application is there. You booked it. Now the person deliverable guy will have one app, no? Okay, I'm here. When he or she updates only, you will get like your product is okay from Delhi to Mumbai, or something from Delhi to it came to Andhra Pradesh. So you will be tracking it came to the nearby facility. So they will have one app. So as a user, you're doing something. Now I want to test everything end-to-end system. So that's what system testing. So mostly they will say in many web application sort of thing, they will say SIT, system integration testing. In some project they have a specifically for the system testing. Some they will say system integration, club it together in simple and end to end. In one of the banking project, they have ATM machine next to the testing team itself. So they will go and withdraw the money and check it. It falls under the system testing. So everything, it's not just one software, entire from the starting till the end. So this varies, depends upon the domain. So end to end will be done. Usually the software will have one element, larger computer based system. So it's a different test whose purpose to exist, full computer based thing. 1 minute. So here itself, there are different level of system testing will be done. One is regression testing. Just now we learned, and load testing, functional testing. Load testing means how the application working. Suddenly all the person, non-functional testing, I can put it. Many person logins into application, how it is working, whether all the functionalities are working. We have already discussed this. Recovery testing means suddenly your system got crashed, whether we can able to recover the data or not. So they will check it. See, suddenly crashed, they will check it in the back end. Okay, you have updated all the stocks available in your market or wherever that warehouse. Now suddenly it got crashed, so you can able to recover. So it should give the last updated value. So recovery testing will be done. Migration testing, because infrastructures will keep updating, then it should, whether in the latest one it is working or not. Usability testing, so the persons familiar with the user and meets objective. For example, the blindness, color blindness, whether it is easy to access every option. So many levels of testings are there. So mostly system integration testing, we will say it in the market. Depends upon the project budget, they will decide whether I need to do security testing, load testing, all these. Mostly we will not do it, guys. We will do only the front end application testing. Regression will come for short, but just understand what is the system testing. In interview, don't say we will do system and again integration. Don't say we do SIT. End-to-end test case will be done in the SIT environment. This is how you should tell. Then why you need to verify this? 1 minute, some query. Okay, fine. 3. It is fully integrated application, including external peripherals to check how the components interacts with another, with the whole as an whole system, whether from the starting till the end-to-end scenario, we want to test it. That's why we need system testing, so our system integration testing the user experience with the application, and whether every input of the application is going for the desired output. So this is why we needed system testing, and it gives 100% assurance Yes, system is perfectly working. All the end-to-end scenario. It works in software architecture according to the requirements. Even mitigation live issues, bugs, even after the production. It is helpful for us to find that. And it uses both existing system. This is migration, old application in the new application, whether the data are working fine. We are comparing the functionality. So lot of things related to system they are seeing. Okay, this is done. Now comes the UAT. UAT means user acceptance testing. So this is done by the end user. End user means who? Customers or client. But in company, who will do it means trust me, QA team member only will do it. But UST, they say like this testing needs to be done by the customer. They will not do it. You have to do it. Same test cases only, but in the UAT environment, we need to do it before the pre-production. See, client or end user verify the software system before moving to the production. So before I run this in the live environment, I need to test it. And it's a final phase of the testing after functional integration system testing. UAT will be done. Why we need to do it? Why an user needs to be tested? Because see, the developer's code based on the requirement what he or she understood. Now in between then requirement changes would have happened. Whether the developer understanding and the user or client understanding are same, they will go and check it. Yeah, this is the product I wanted. And in between some requirements would have changed it, may not be communicated to the developers. Possibilities are there. So from the user, some person is coming and testing that. That is called user acceptance testing. That's what the theory says. In companies, this will be done by the QA team. Client and end user, this is theory. You go for certification, you need to choose this option. What about in company? 99% this will be done by the QA team. But if you are going to work in agile, agile means we have a demo, we have a sprint demo. Customers will come and check this. So there it's different story. The main purpose is to validate the end-to-end business flow, not focusing on this error, spelling mistake, colors, font size. Its main thing is how it is working. It is carried out in the testing environment like a production data setup, live testing. With the live data, we are trying to test it. Is it according to the user expectations? Like that, that's the main purpose. And again, it's a black box testing where 1 or 2 persons involved. So we know now what is white box testing, black box testing. When you're going to club this together, we called gray box testing. Internal structure code is partially known. That's called gray box testing. Leave about gray box testing. Okay, anyhow, that's the last slide, right? So here, as a tester, you will find the defect and also will tell exactly how where the code issue is happening. Based on that, they can able to development team will have a less time. Now the time will be saved. When you say as a testing team, go and fix this, they will fix it for you. You can't change the fix. Some small example, somewhere like some HTML code, you have to go and check it. This link is not working. We are getting this error. You go and fix it in this particular place. This is very, very rare scenario nowadays. It's just for theory. It's no one is following. Gray box testing, no one is following. Developer don't like if a tester is going to say, hey, dude, already if we say defect itself, some issue. You are saying, no, go and fix the code here means the person will get egoed. Are you teaching me? So this is a reality, but for knowledge purpose, learn it. So we are done with all levels of testing, SIT, UAT, everything. So one of the biggest topic, types of functional testing, we are done. So that's for today, team. Now, actually, live classes are completed from next week. 5, we are going to start our automation training that will not be live. Those who are interested for that can WhatsApp me, get the course details. And already those who are enrolled and in Zoom meeting, same Zoom meeting link only. I'll be mentioning, I'll be reminding you in the WhatsApp. So make sure from next week, you're not missing any of the classes. So I'm going to stop sharing it and end the streaming. So thank you so much, YouTube team and Zoom team. Please wait. We have a discussion. Thank you. Ending the stream.